What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today, and today we'll be doing an unboxing of the Moshi Palmguard for the 15-inch unibody MacBook Pro. It's something this is something I've been always considering getting, but I've always thought it was a bit too excessive. So anyways, pretty much what it is, it's a palm guard that covers the palm rest area of the MacBook Pro. You guys can see it's designed to mimic the finish of the satin silver finish on the MacBook Pro and provide protection as well without compromising the aesthetic look of the MacBook. But anyways, it also comes with a track guard, you can see in the diagram here, and that's something I probably won't put on, as the track guard has the same metallic rough finish as the palm guard, so you kind of lose that matte smooth surface of the matte glass trackpad, so I'm going to keep that off. And plus, glass doesn't really wear out. But anyways, that's the packaging there. If you buy it off Moshi, it's nothing too spectacular. It did take a couple weeks to ship, so if you do decide to order this off Moshi internationally, one, it'll cost you 15 bucks to ship, which really sucks, and the other thing is that it takes a couple weeks to ship, which it wasn't really that worthwhile of a wait. But anyways, yeah, there's the little sample or the packaging there, and without further ado, let's unbox this thing and see what we get. Alright, so we finally got this thing open, and then you don't really get much with it, considering it's just a palm guard, but you do get a little slip of cardboard with the instructions how to put it on. You pretty much just, first I would line it up first, and then, attach it on. But as you guys can see in the video, the silver finish on the palm guard as well as the MacBook are very similar. The texture itself is, I find the texture on the Moshi Palm Guard a lot more finer and rougher than the texture on the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Pro has a lot more smoother surface, but it's mainly about aesthetics with this. So as long as it looks, doesn't affect the aesthetic look of the MacBook Pro, I'm pretty happy with that. But anyways, you also get a track guard. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to put that on because I don't think it's really necessary, and plus you lose that smooth glass track feel when you use the trackpad on the MacBook. Anyways, first thing you want to do, of course, is line it up just to make sure to see how everything's going to go on. And once that's done, and hopefully this will fit with my spec case on too, so we'll see about that. But anyways, through the magic of YouTube, where it's going to be installed, and we'll see how it looks. Alright, so as you guys can see, we got the palm guard on the MacBook Pro here, as well as the spec case put on, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. It definitely does a good job mimicking the satin silver look of the MacBook Pro here. You guys can see it is a little bit different in terms of the shade of the silver, but definitely it mimics it very well. It's probably the best product I've seen so far that actually does the closest job at mimicking the finish on the MacBook Pro. I will note though, it looks better in certain lighting conditions. Right now we're under like a fluorescent light, so you can still see like a clear difference. If you're under like a lamp or something, you probably won't notice it that much. But yeah, so far in terms of installation, it was pretty easy, nothing too hard. You just gotta make sure everything's lined up, because this is the type of thing where you put it on, you don't have another chance of putting it back on. So if you take it off, it's not gonna look nice when you put it back on, because it's like a metallic skin, so it can like bend and stuff like a thin piece of metal. So that's why I'm saying it's something that you should get, do it right the first time around. The Moshi logo is on the bottom here. It's nothing too big or too obstructive that will pop out or anything like that. It's nicely tucked away there. Of course, they made this product, they gotta put their company logo somewhere. There was also the track guard, which I didn't decide to put it on because I personally like the feel of the matte smooth glass surface of the trackpad. The track guard, it's actually a little bit smoother than the actual palm guard itself, but it still has a rough surface, so I decided it's glass, it's not going to wear down very easily or anything like that, so it should be good to go. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier in this video, I've always thought the palm guard was something that, a bit too excessive, but I've been very happy with the Moshi Clear Guard here. I got this about 11 months ago, so I decided just to give this a shot, and so far I'm pretty happy with it, and I don't have to worry about the palm rest getting scratched up or anything, which is really nice. But anyways, yeah, it does fit with the spec case on, which is really good, and really it's just a palm guard. Not too much else to really say about it, but yeah, they make this for all the MacBook Pros, 13, 15, and 17 inch, as well as the regular MacBook, and of course the MacBook Airs. And it does cost, I bought it off Moshi's website for $23 plus insane shipping costs. Well, it took $15 to ship this, which was a little bit insane, but they did have a like a 30% off, so I saved a little bit. I kind of wish I got it off the Apple Store, because the shipping for this took 2 weeks to ship to Canada, which took a little bit while. When I bought the spec case off the Apple Store, it took 3 days, or no, 2 days to ship. So if I bought the Moshi Palmguard and the spec, it would have came in together in 2 days, which would have been a little bit better. But oh well, I'll save a little bit more money by buying it off Moshi anyway still. But anyways, let's see, trying to think. Thoroughly clean MacBook. Alright, so yeah, it's pretty easy installing. Just clean, make sure you clean it, which I did forget to mention. Make sure you clean the MacBook before you put this on, because you don't want any dust or debris underneath here. And yeah, pretty simple specs, or steps I mean. And so far, yeah, it's not much else to say. It's a pretty awesome accessory. I think it's, you know, a cool idea. And you know, palm rest area on your MacBook Pro is probably the spot where you're gonna make most contact with your MacBook, because when you're typing and stuff, you know, your palm's gonna rub against the surface here. Now, it's not really the wearing down part that I would be concerned about. It's just, you know, any debris or stuff that gets caught under your palm rest can actually potentially scratch your MacBook Pro, and it actually happened to me on my older 13-inch model, which kind of sucked because I was always careful with and made sure it was clean. But anyways, easiest way to clean dust and debris off it is with one of these. Swiffer duster, very soft material. It's not gonna, you know, harm your MacBook Pro or anything, or wreck the surface. So that's, you know, most of you guys probably have these at home, so that's what I recommend to use. And that's pretty much it for this video. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. It's a fairly thick film. I don't know if you guys can really see that. So when you put the MacBook Pro, or not the lid down, it does close properly, so you don't have to worry about that either. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on the top there, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.